Hiya, video number 2, this time on Playcentre Philosophy. So for those of you who are interested in finding out more about Playcentre Philosophy after this, there is this little Welcome to Playcentre booklet. It's printed out in colour in A4 and is laminated, and it's hanging on the notice board next to the kitchen at Otumoetai Playcentre. So it's a great one to read if you have more questions after watching this video. This video is a really basic one. I'm hoping actually for most people this covers things that you learnt on your first few visits to Playcentre, hopefully nothing new. But if you do have any questions, have a look at this Welcome to Playcentre booklet, or feel free to ask anyone at the Centre of questions. So really what we want to start with talking about philosophy is the slogan for Welcome from Playcentre, which is whānau tupunatahi, which is families growing together, which really kind of sums it up. So the idea that the parent or the main caregiver is coming to Playcentre and spending time with the children in play, and I guess really learning alongside their child. The child is learning in this environment, and the adult is supporting that, and the adult is learning through the adult education program. So the adult education program for the parents and caregivers is really fantastic. I waited a while to do it, and I really wish I hadn't. I learned so much out of it. The new Playcentre Introductory Award is fantastic. It has a lot of the main parts that were in the old system, the creativity, so many great workshops. I can't kind of stress enough that it's a really worthwhile thing to do. Even if you just start with the first module and then see how you go, I think you'll be really glad that you actually started it. It's really, really good. What we can do with this knowledge is we then can play with our children. We have so much more knowledge then to expand their play, to understand their motivations behind why they do something, to be able to observe it with not just, I guess, kind of the emotional heart of a parent, but also understanding as an educator what children are getting out of certain aspects. And just that time together is so amazingly precious. I mean, not every family has the opportunity to do that, so I think we really have to appreciate the time that we can spend with our children in this environment and how that really supports their development in the future. So I guess that children learning alongside adults is so important. The second part about Playcentre Philosophy is child-initiated play. Now, this doesn't mean that we let children just run rampant around the place. We wouldn't let them take paints inside and paint all over the walls and the library books. We wouldn't let them jump up and down on the roof and dent it or injure themselves. We have to ask parents and caregivers to have a bit of common sense about what's appropriate for a preschooler. What it does mean is that we will try and set up activities based on the interests that children have shown in previous weeks, and we do that through our planning process. That means that we may set up an area of play and no one plays with it because on that particular day the weather was great and they want to be outside. They didn't want to be out inside making the massive train station concourse that we were planning. That's okay. Maybe they will next week. What it would mean though is, say if we were setting up some area of process cooking or something, we may say to the children, oh, we're going to be doing pizzas inside if you're interested. And if none of them come, then we might say again, oh, well, we're going to be packing it away in 10 minutes if no one wants to do it. And it's okay. Don't be discouraged. I've set up lots of areas of play. Children didn't want to have a bar of it in that day, but you know what? The following week, maybe they did. So just give it a go, and we're all in the same boat together with setting up things and children not going. But we're never going to force them to do it. So we're not going to tell them to drop what they're doing outside and come in and make those pizzas. So it's really about making sure that what we do really follows their interests, not only just across the whole term, but on any particular day. So the next part I wanted to cover was mixed age sessions of children. So we have all the children together from birth to 6 years. We don't separate them off. And it's a really beautiful thing, actually, that the older children learning about self-care in terms of learning about taking care of little children helps them to learn about taking care of themselves, and the younger children learn through watching the older children. So it's a really kind of it's a really unique environment because a lot of daycares separate off the different age children, and I think it's a real missed opportunity. We're also a whānau parent cooperative, so people often get a bit intimidated by this. We are run by the families. We do have paid support people, but the parents are the ones who make the decision about where we're going to spend our money, and doing some of the admin jobs around the centre. So what we try and stress though is that every family does a little bit. The centre hums along, and you're not overburdened with things. There's other parts I can go into. One of the really important parts about Playcentre is we really value our bicultural heritage here in New Zealand. So we recognise Te Tiriti o Waitangi as the founding document of Aotearoa New Zealand, and we try and embrace that in all our practices within Playcentre. So so those are kind of the main philosophy things I wanted to cover off. So we've got children and adults learning alongside each other, child-initiated play, our bicultural identity, mixed age sessions, and a whānau parent cooperative. So those are kind of the overarching philosophy things. The 3 Playcentre rules I wanted to cover as well were we respect each other, which I'm hoping is really straightforward, whether it's with words, whether it's with how we use our bodies towards each other in whatever way, and that's whether it's an adult to an adult, an adult to a child, child to child, whatever in between, we respect each other. The second one is we respect the equipment and the property. So that was a little bit what I was saying with earlier about in the child-initiated play. Sorry about that. The cat was scratching at the door. So yes, we want to make sure that the kids are respecting things like the books. Other things that you might want to think about as well, which is a little bit controversial, is like painting baby dolls. Would we let a child really paint a real baby? And if so, how would we monitor that to make sure that it's been done safely? Because I have seen kids, stab those paintbrushes into the baby doll's eyes when they're painting it. So just thinking about you respecting our equipment, what's appropriate uses of things. So just having a little bit of common sense. And the third one is around respecting each other's play. So if one child is building blocks, but another child is feeling really destructive and wet that day, then trying to redirect that second child towards other activities outside. So that is the 3 Playcentre rules. We respect each other, we respect the equipment and property, and we respect each other's plays. Okay, that is it. I'm going to drop some more videos on a few other exciting Playcentre topics, so hopefully you'll watch. Thanks, guys.